how I do his legs. This one is somewhat done. The other one, of course, you see it's big and fluffy. So I brush all this hair up. I've already made sure there's no tangles in it. I brush all around, brush it all up so it's standing up. I go over it with a comb, make sure we didn't miss any little knots. Yeah. Okay, so then I take his foot, I hold his bottom pad, and I give this a shake, like that. In order to shape the leg, you need to shape the foot too. So what I do is I make sure his nails are exposed down here. Not fully, but just enough. And I scissor all around. Leave it, Klaus. I leave the back area here for when I do the whole leg. So you can see his foot is taking the shape. The rounded, tight foot. So for the leg, you want them to be perfect little columns. Sorry, gotta move this again. You want them to be columns. So you see how this one's all uniform? So how the line works, he's fluffy right now because I haven't groomed him since the show. So you want the line to line right up with his the shoulder muscle. So that's how you know how much hair you need to take off. I could probably even take more off of this side, but we're gonna focus on this side. So again, we'll line that up with this, his shoulder. And you see you can take probably a good 1/2 inch of hair off of him. So here's what I'll do. So first, I will set the spot in that I want to set his line at with chunkers or thinners. These are chunkers. They take bigger chunks of hair out, but it becomes easier to blend. Okay, so you can see already where I took a lot of that in. Okay, you see where now I want my line to be over here. I'm going to take this straight down. So I'm going to switch over to straights. I just like to set my line in with chunkers. You can pick the foot up, you can leave it sitting down. I do either or. Klaus, relax. I do either or. So I'm going to go straight up to where I just set that line at. I'm not worried about the stuff on the side. I'm not worried about the stuff on front yet. So we'll set that foot down. We'll let him shake that out. And we'll look again. And as you can see, all up to like here, it's a nice straight line. I'll go back with my thinning shears. Blend out the hard line. So then I will pick up his foot again. Klaus, stop. And you see this bumpy area right here that I missed with the straights. I'm going to just blend that over into the front of his leg. Put it down. And now you can see it's straight like a column. So what we're going to do again for the inside is comb this up. So this, you'll see, you want it to be like equal on both sides. So we'll go in here, we're going to take probably a good 1/2 inch to almost like 3/4 of an inch. Leave it alone. So again, I go in with my chunkers. I can go in with thinners too, but I prefer chunkers because that's how I like doing it. So again, not perfect. We're not going for perfect right now until, you know, we're doing finishing work. So again, you can go back, foam this all back up. You're gonna keep going over it with whatever shears you feel comfortable with. Again, I like my chunkers to bulk this stuff out. So now we have this line set in over here. So I'm going to have him turn slightly so I can show you the front of him. Come here. Turn this way. So now let's turn you to, you can see the top of his leg super fluffy, the sides are super flat and not as like uniform. So again, for this I will take, where are they? My straights. And I will hold his foot. Go straight up. Do not press in. Again, you're lining it up with where the muscles are. You know, you don't want to take too much off the front, but just enough to blend into both sides. Alright, so now the back part of the leg. So this part is pretty easy if you have all your other sides lined up. Again, you fluff up, you shake it out, and you should see underneath where you need to trim at. And you can go back in after you trim it straights or whatever you're comfortable with. Go back in with thinners and just blend out any harsh lines. Shake it out. Let him put it down. We'll come up again so you can see everything. Turn this way. Ugh. So I see a little bit in here. I'm gonna take the thinners and blend it down. I'm only letting him sit because he's, you know, uncomfortable a little bit still. So I'm going to take my curves and go all the way around this foot at the bottom. Stop. Don't move your foot, bud. And just trim up any excessive hair that I missed in the back. The curves will grab all around and grab the stuff that you need. Again, I will go over his foot like 5 times. Probably. Not for the sake of this video though. But ideally, you don't need super duper thick furnishings to have nice legs on your giant. I'm gonna turn this again. And you can see the nice cylinder we have going on here. I'm gonna take my chunkers and go over this again. Again, chunkers have wider teeth than the thinners. These are thinners. These are chunkers. Give me your toes. Stop. There we go. That looks better. And you really just have to look because you're going for the cylinder and you don't want, you know, you can create like weird shapes, but you really just want it rounded at the foot, cylinder. Again, I like his feet tight because he gets in the mud. Within like a week or two, he'll be at ideal length. So I'll fluff both of these up. Doesn't look like I'm taking off much, but I'm taking off like the weeest bit. Just enough to shape his foot to what I want it to be. You can see I missed in here. So I'm just gonna chunk that out. And that's how I do his legs. So that they're nice straight columns, as you can see. Very nice column. Very uniform with him. He hasn't been groomed since the weekend, so he's quite fluffy already. So that's really it. And again, you'll see little things as you're scissoring, and then you go back over and over again until you have your desired length. You can also set these in with like attachment combs for pets, of course, but for show you're gonna wanna really scissor it up. Of course, not too fake looking, like too uniform, but I usually will do this a couple days prior, and then we have a good leg.